I'm Bud Palmer. Behind me is the Bay of Monte Carlo. It's a peaceful sight reflecting the tranquility of this quiet city. But for 1 week of each year for the past 19 years, this peace and quiet has been shattered by the roaring of racing cars entered in the Grand Prix of Monaco. It's about the only time the gamblers leave their tables to bet on men with such names as Hill, Bonnier, Jean de Bien, Trintignant, Von Trips, Moss, and Ginther. The Grand Prix of Monaco is the first of 9 Grand Prix races which count towards the World Driving Championship, and I think it's a unique race. It's a wildly twisting course, 100 laps, 195 miles long. It's the only Grand Prix course which is laid out on the streets right in the heart of a city. And I feel it's a race which demands more from the driver than the car. And now here's a word of welcome from a former winner and marshal of the race, Louis Chiron.
Thank you, Bob. Welcome to the 19 Monaco Grand Prix. We expect 30,000 people. That is only race on the limit of the city. We have 22 best drivers in the world and 16 qualified for the first place. I drove this race and I won in 1931. And enjoy. I hope to enjoy you too. Thank you very much.
We'll continue with our sports spectacular after this message. We're taking a guided tour of some of the streets in Monaco. Not to see the sights, but to get an idea of the circuit that 16 of the world's greatest race drivers will use as their course. This is the Boulevard Albert Ier, running along the end of the harbor at Monaco. The cars corner sharply, switching back. Past the pits, into an uphill straight. Past the Avenue Princesse Alice. Flat out past the casino. Dipping down the short street at over 100 miles per hour. Turning sharply again. A downhill S-curve, past the railroad station at 50 miles per hour. Another turn, and onto the harbor leg at 120 miles per hour, down the Boulevard Louis II. This is the fastest part of the course. The cars will reach speeds of 160 miles per hour. And the most dangerous because of the tunnel ahead, where drivers have no leeway to maneuver in case of an accident or a pileup in the dark. Past this downhill straight, the cars race into the famous chicane, where a few years ago, Albert Ascari lost control and dropped into the harbor. Into the Quai des États-Unis in top gear. Most drivers feel that here they have the best chance to outmaneuver their competitors. This is where in 1957, Sterling Moss and the late Peter Collins, trying to pass each other, crashed into the seawall. We've just completed the 1.9-mile course. The drivers will run it 100 times. Speed trial. The streets have been closed to all traffic except the race cars. 3 days of trials will determine the starting lineup. Race Marshal Louis Chiron, working against time, has to control the individualists that make up the driving team. Object, to qualify. How? By turning in the fastest lap time. The driver and the mechanic agree that the car is ready. A full fuel tank will take the car through the 2.5-hour race. There's no time for pit stops or extensive repairs. A stop for any reason may lose the race. The only way the driver and the mechanic can test the condition of their machine is during these speed trials. Belgium's Olivier Gendebien in an Emerson going out for a qualification lap. He's off. The railroad, drifting through the S-curve, and completing his circuit. Trintignant ready to go. He's a two-time winner at Monaco and certainly a man to watch. After completing a lap, his official time is recorded. As each driver moves out, the others watch to evaluate the competition. Comparisons are measured in fractions of seconds. Part of the color of the race comes from the many nationalities driving here. Australia's young Bruce McLaren driving a British Cooper Climax. Another Australian and teammate of McLaren's is Jack Brabham, present world champion, who moved out for a speed trial. Tony Brooks of England with Gordon Wilkinson, chief engineer of BRM. Checking in for BRM is team driver Graham Hill of England.
And then we have Uzo 48 with the 60-degree engine who are in. Number 42, Maurice with the...
Competing against the factory teams is England's Sterling Moss. This is truly an international race. Just look at the entries like Frenchman Maurice Trintignant here, driving a British Cooper owned by an Italian. Dan Gurney, American, who'll drive a German Porsche. Porsche teammate Joachim Bonnier of Sweden. Hans Hermann of Germany, also driving a Porsche.